to the Electric Scenic Theater. We sure are glad you've joined us. The lightning wrath of God, the rage of the sky, the fire of his loins, that all-encompassing, all-embracing, mother-loving, shock-inducing, vital air that powers our every day. Finally, at long last and forevermore, harnessed in the service of humans. Step right up, and you will see the long-delayed promise of electricity. Step right up, and you will see magical electrical lights mimicking for the bestest of eyes the effects of dawn over the hills and twilight over the seas. Step right up, and you will see the lights that shine through skin, the lights that eliminate unwanted hair, the lights that burn for 1,000,000 years by just getting smaller.
One of the first things that struck me when I read the play was the juxtaposition of theatrical styles, vaudeville, grand guignol, melodrama, circus, set in the World's Fair, 1893, the Chicago World's Fair. So that was an interesting design problem, acting problem. How do you put these styles together? As well as telling a really interesting story about the history of the X-ray, which is ultimately a very dark history. How we as a society embrace these new inventions without really thinking through what their side effects might be. Like, for example, radium, when it was first discovered, people were putting it in their cocktails because it glowed, or they would fill their swimming pools with radium, or wear outfits out of radium before they knew that it was completely radioactive and could kill you. Same thing with the X-ray. Edison was like, oh, it's so easy, a child could do it. When you look at early things about the X-ray, he says, oh, just go into any old department store and get your X-ray, take it home to your loved ones, a photograph of the soul. And that was completely normal until they realized, oh, well, maybe this isn't so good. People's limbs are falling off and their bones are deteriorating. And this really gave rise to the whole field of radiology, right? You have to actually know something about the science that you're working with. And not anyone can now execute an X-ray.
You know, I am no artiste. I'm a scientist and a showman. Back in the day, there wasn't such a difference between the two. Ever hear of the Kickapoo medicine shows? Me, I humbly give myself to you as the inventor.
One of the places where this play overlaps with some of the scholarship that I'm familiar with is this probing the question about technological change and does it represent progress, and what would we mean to say technology is progress. So we tend as a society to get wrapped up in new technologies and be excited about them, and that's demonstrated in the play as well, and lose focus on the question of, well, what are we going to use them for? If you do research on select agents, which are biological compounds that can be used in terrorist activities, should you do this research? Well, on the one hand, we very much need this research because we need to understand these organisms in order to respond. But when you sequence them and then you publish the sequence, which is what you do as an academic, it becomes much easier for people to then synthesize it. So how do you balance this sort of this two-sided possibility of the knowledge?
Sure, you folks like a good fright, but if I scare you too much, you end up thinking that the world is ending with every new gadget that comes down the pike, and now that's no good for business.